Howdy everybody, this is Farmer Carl here. We're at Ramsey's farm. This is our beautiful property. On our farm we grow about 14 acres of pumpkins. We have a corn maze, we have a sorghum maze. We do hay rides, birthday parties, bonfires, all things fall festivities that are for families and everyone, groups and whatnot. We're actually at the produce stand right now, and I'm the 6th generation of our farm. My dad's the 5th generation of our farm. And we love what we do, and we like having people out and teaching them about our farm. I'm a member of the Delaware Farm Bureau, and we're partnered together to read you a short book called The Pumpkin Book by Gail Gibson. Pumpkins come in all shapes and sizes. Pumpkins are members of the squash family. There are many different kinds of pumpkins. Small pumpkins, big pumpkins, round pumpkins, tall pumpkins. Some of them like Jack B. Littles, Baby Bears, Connecticut Field, Lamina, Red October, Big Macs, Small Sugar Pie, and many others. Gardeners and farmers call them pumpkin varieties. Some pumpkins have smooth skin and others have lots of bumps. In the springtime, when the sun's rays begin to warm the soil, it's planting time. The gardeners turn the soil to get it ready to plant a small pumpkin patch. A pumpkin patch is where the pumpkins are grown. Some farmers use their plows to slice through the soil and turn it over. The field will eventually be a huge pumpkin patch. The soil's ready, it's time to plant the pumpkin seeds. The beginning of a pumpkin is curled up inside each of the seeds. Food is stored there too. The seed has a seed coat on the outside to protect it. The bigger the seed, the bigger the variety of pumpkin that will grow. Sometimes pumpkin seeds are planted in rows. Other times pumpkin seeds are planted in small circular areas called hills. Several shallow holes are poked into the soil, and one pumpkin seed is dropped into each hole and covered with dirt. Each hill should be about 3 feet to 6 feet apart to give the plants lots of room to grow. The pumpkin seed won't sprout until the dirt is warm and the water has soaked the seed to soften its coat. Once the seed coat begins to open, the root begins to grow down into the soil. It takes in water and minerals from the soil for food. After about one to 2 weeks, leaves will appear where each pumpkin seed is planted. These smooth leaves are called seed leaves. They begin to make more food for the plant from sunlight and air. After a few days, small pumpkin vine leaves appear. These leaves look different. They are prickly and have rough, jagged edges. More viney leaves grow. Stems begin to grow and twist, crawling all along the ground and becoming vines. The vines grow thicker and thicker. They grow curly tendrils and then wrap themselves around other parts of the plant to help spread the vines. Gold-colored flowers begin to bloom. A pumpkin begins to grow when a grain of pollen from the stamen of the male pumpkin flower lands on the stigma of the female pumpkin flower. This is called pollination. Sometimes pollen moves from flower to flower when the wind blows. Bees and other insects help to pollinate too. Pollen rubs off on their bodies and they travel from flower to flower in search of nectar. The female flower has a small green ball beneath the blossom. When the flower is pollinated, a little ball begins to grow. It is a very, very small pumpkin. Over time, it begins to become bigger. And bigger and bigger. The pumpkin skins begin to turn from green to orange, and the pumpkin patch begins to turn orange. In the fall, when the vines begin to dry up and die, it's harvest time. It usually takes from 80 to 120 days, depending upon the variety of pumpkin, for the seeds to grow and ripen the pumpkins. It is ready to pick if the outside of the pumpkin feels hard and hollow when it is tapped. Often shears are used to clip pumpkins from their vines, leaving about 3 inches of stem. The stem helps to keep the harvested pumpkin from getting moldy. During the fall, more and more pumpkins in many shapes and sizes appear on the roadside stands and in stores. Fall makes people think of county fairs. Sometimes awards are given for the biggest and prettiest or strangest pumpkin grown. The biggest pumpkin grown was in New York State in 1996. It weighed about as much as a small car, 1,061 pounds or 481 kilograms. At fairs, there are pumpkin pie tasting contests too. When the Pilgrims came to the New World, friendly Native American Indians showed them how to plant pumpkins. Often, the Indian women were the pumpkin farmers of the tribes. The Pilgrims ate the pumpkins every day in different forms, such as pumpkin bread, pumpkin pie, pumpkin seed cereal. Thanksgiving reminds people of the Pilgrims' first harvest season. They wanted to give thanks for the food they had through the cold winter months. They celebrate by having Thanksgiving feast. Halloween is on October 31st. A long time ago, people believed that ghosts, witches, and goblins roamed around at night. Some people built bonfires to scare them away. Later, October 31st was called All Hallows Even, which means Holy Evening. It was the night before church festival called All Hallows or All Saints' Day. All Hallows Even was shortened to Halloween. Today, Halloween is celebrated in different ways. There are pumpkins. It's great to have fun, carve pumpkins into what you want them to be. Funny pumpkins, scary pumpkins, beautiful carved pumpkins. Some people place a candle or light inside it and light it so the pumpkin will shine at night. Other people decorate pumpkins with paint, glitter, and other decorations. The pumpkins can last a long time because they haven't been carved. No two pumpkins are alike. They all have their very own personalities. All lined up on Halloween night, they are a glowing sight to behold. Isn't it amazing that all this began with a few small pumpkin seeds? All grown locally, glow pumpkins glow.